Hello, everyone, and thanks for tuning in. And there are a couple of things that I want to talk before we begin this video. And firstly, and mainly, is that my mic is actually fixed. Finally, I'm back from my vacation. If you're following um, my progress in my life. And we are going to talk about the terms and conditions of Flutter Flow. And I wanted to make this video because of two reasons. The first reason is that Flutter Flow recently changed their terms of conditions, probably received an email about it. And the second thing is that most of the people are actually not reading the terms of the conditions, and they just don't want to spend the time of reading the terms and the conditions. And yeah, I totally get that. And the terms of conditions of Flutter Flow, it's actually not that big, it's not that huge. It's relevantly 10 pages long document, and the last update was on the 7th of June 2023. But we received the email like a couple of days ago. And to reach actually to the terms of conditions, you can click on Flow, and then if you go to the bottom of the page on with where's the footer, there's this terms of services, and if you click on it, the terms of services is the one that we are going to talk today about. So if you actually like this video, let me know. If you like this video, let me know. You just literally like the video. And we can talk about the privacy policy and the marketplace terms of services. Like I said, if you like this video. And so, what we're going to talk about is today is I actually try to output one of the to summarize actually by points the terms of the conditions. I'm not a lawyer. I have to disclaim that I'm not a lawyer. So if I didn't do the right job for you, um, then yeah, let me know in the comments below if you think that this is something important that I missed in this video, or if something that I said it's not what it says in the terms of the conditions. But like I said, I try to summarize everything for you in like a short video, so you know what are the current terms of conditions of the service in Flow. And like I said, if you like this video, I will know, and if they change the terms of the condition, I can make a comparisons between the two. And it says here that if you actually read the terms of the condition, it should take you approximately like 20 minutes of read, if you just want to read the whole thing. Okay, and let's move on to my points that I did. Okay, so those are the key points that I made out of the terms and the conditions. Like I said, I'm not a lawyer, so please let me know in the comments if I made some mistakes, or you want to just add something, or if I write something that is not correct. But let's go through the list. So those are the key points for the terms and the conditions that I made. And of course, the first one is that this is actually an agreement between the users and the Flutter Flow company, which is regarding the use of the Flutter Flow services. And of course, if you're not a user of Flutter Flow, those terms and conditions, like 90% of the terms and conditions, will actually not apply for you, which is normal. This is only applied for users who are actually registered and actually using the services that Flow is actually providing you. And the first thing that I wrote is that the users must be over the age of 13, and in Europe it's the age of 16. And in Europe there are actually like changes in the rules because of the European Union, and probably know about the GDPR rules that they have in the European Union. So I currently actually saw in the Flow side that they don't have currently the strict GDPR licensing text, and I think according to the European Union they have to, but they don't currently. At least I didn't saw it. Probably they do, but at least I didn't saw it. It's not strictly set. That is GDPR, but I guess the privacy policy is the one that they are covering that inside, which I'm not actually covering in this video. So, like I said, at least it's not in the terms of service. And yeah, so let's move on. And let me know in the comments actually if I'm right about that or not. Uh, and let's move on. So the second thing, it's commercial entities with over 10 millions revenue must purchase Flow Enterprise. So if you are a commercial entities who has more over 10 millions revenue, you're obliged to purchase Flow Enterprise. But I think this is like 0.001% of all the users that of the Flow users. And if you are in a company that it's over 10 million revenue, I don't think that you'll be like a regular Flow user. You actually probably purchase Flow enterprise in the first place, or you actually connect with the flow in the first place and not just create a random account. I just don't think so. So flow also gains a limited license to use the service, which I think it's normal. And then user content remains owned by the user. We actually talk a little bit more about that. And I'll answer one of the most asked questions at the end of the video is actually my code owned by Flow? Can I actually use my code wherever I want to? And I'll try to answer this question as well. And I wanted to let you know if you have more questions about the terms and conditions of Flow, let me know in the comments and I'll actually try to answer them as well. Also, users are responsible for their account security and activities. And I think this is normal. I think this is in every single website. You're actually responsible to keep your password safe and secret, and not to just give your password to other people that you don't want to. And then Flow can terminate accounts at any time. I think this is also normal, and I think this is also in every single website. If Flow finds that your account is somehow related to frauds or some other illegal activities, or in general, if they think that your account is, for example, leading to not a positive, not a positive for the mark for the flow in general. They actually can terminate your account in any time. So I think, like I said, I think this is normal. It should not scare you. This is normal to be written in the terms of the conditions. And then we have the service is provided as it is with no warranties. Flow liability is limited. So I think again, this is I think this is normal. They're not giving you any warranties in regarding like if you build some app which is actually going to crash or you're going to lose money about the code that Flow provided for you. You're actually the one who has to look at your code and make sure that this is the right code and make sure that the app will run like safety and without any crashes to the end user. So I think this is normal as well. And then we have their sections. So this is like I'm trying to trying to just get in general what are the other sections. So there are other sections like copyright, DMCA, third-party links, analytics, uh, indemnity, arbitrations, and class action. Where I'm not sure what are that actually. Like I said, I'm not a lawyer, so yeah, I cannot say anything more about that. And we have also the disclaimer of the warranty. We also have the limitation of liability and termination. So if there is something, like I said, more that you need to know about the terms of conditions, let me know in the comments and I'll try to answer your questions. And then we have a few more, which are there are additional terms for mobile apps, including licenses and compliance with the App Store terms. So this is normal as well. I think it's about terms and the conditions of the App Store. So if your app is going to the in the App Store, you have to apply to the terms and the conditions of the App Store. If your app is going to be published in the Play Store, of course, your app has to comply with the terms of the conditions of the Play Store. And then we have the flow. The flow can modify terms anytime and continuously use is applies acceptance, entrance agreement, suspension prior terms. So this means that if Flowflow actually change their terms and the conditions in the future, and you keep on using the services, that means that you are agreeing with the new terms and the conditions, and they're actually sending emails. Like in the beginning of the video, I said about that. They are actually sending emails about the terms and the conditions. So I think this is also a normal thing in every terms and the conditions in every single page or every single site in the internet. And then it says provides contact email for questions and feedback. So if you actually have any questions, there is at the bottom of the terms and the conditions, there is this email, which is team plus TOS, which is terms and conditions at flowflow.io. And there is actually, I think, the same email at the beginning as well. When you go, I think I saw it here. I can't see it right now. It's here actually. So if you have any questions or you think that something is not right, you can actually write to Flow and tell them about that. Then we continue. Users must comply with all acceptable laws and not use the service for illegal, harmful, fraudful purposes, which is actually, I think this is super normal as well. And then we have Flow may employ third-party services for payment processes, analysis, and etc. And users agree to the terms of those services. So this is normal as well. This is when you, for example, use Stripe for payments. Of course, you have to agree with the Stripe terms and the conditions before you use the service. And this is actually, I think, what they're trying to say is that if you want to use Stripe, you're actually agreeing with the terms and the conditions of Stripe when you want to use the service. So I think this is normal as well. And then we have the users indemnify Flow against any claims or damages related to their use of the service. So I think, like I said, this is when there is something wrong with your project or your app, and you try to blame Flow for that. And I think it's normal because I think it's the user or the user who is creating the app and the project who is actually responsible for the end product that you are actually, because you're actually sending to your clients or to your users, to own your clients, to your own clients and own users. So I think this is normal. as well. And then we have those are specific terms related to paid services like billing, subscriptions. There are specific terms for billing, subscriptions, refunds, and fee charges. I haven't actually covered them specifically, but if you want, you can actually read that in the terms of the in the full terms of the conditions. And then we have the terms are governed by the California law and subject to binding individual arbitration unless opted out within 30 days. So yeah, keep in mind that Flow of Law is actually a California-based company. So um, if you want to know about that, it is California based. And yeah, I think this is important information as well. And then it says class action lawsuit are waned, which I have no idea what that is exactly. I'm not a native English speaker and I'm not a lawyer, so that's actually a little bit hard for me to explain it. Um, Disputes must be handled individual arbitration. So I think what are here they saying is that if you have any disputes or anything like that, and I think if you don't own a Flow of Flow enterprise account, which it says when you can own or when you have to own a Flow of Flow enterprise account. If you just own a normal account, it would be like an individual based arbitration and not a company based. So this is important as well to know. And the next thing is user grant for the flow license to their content for operating the service. Flow remains IP rights. So this is actually something that I wrote, but there are like two ways we can talk about that. And I think what they are trying to say over here is that when you provide your API calls, for example, or some kinds of service that you use in your app, but you own, you're actually gaining the access to Flow for that service, and you are actually agreeing for doing that. So the Flow can actually gain the access to this or gain the information to this service that you're providing to. And then we have Flow disclaims warranties and its liability is limited to the amount paid or $50. I'm not actually sure what this exactly means, but I think that Flow is actually, I think, the most money that Flow can give you back as a form of warranties or something like that is $50. But it says or, so it's limited to the amount paid. So probably the amount that you paid or $50. Those are the two cases. And then the last thing that I get from the terms and the conditions, which are the key points, is this one, which is users can terminate by discounting use, but there are no refunds. So Flow can suspend or terminate accounts at any time. So we're talking about that as well. We talk at some point about that as well. And what this is saying is that you can actually stop using the service, and that means that through the Flow we are not obliged to give you back the money if you stop to use the service, but keep on, for example, continue paying for the service, which I think it's normal kinds of terms and the conditions. And finally, to wrap up this video, I want to talk about there is like the most common questions that being asked in the Flow community, and this is actually about the question that is the actually if I'm the user and of the flow services, and if I am the owner of what I built using flow, because the code is actually auto generated from flow, and if I am actually the owner of the content. And it says here that based on the terms and the conditions, flow does not own or claim any rights to the apps or code that the users create using their services. The related section is this one, which it says user content, and it says some areas of the service allow users to submit, post, display, provide, or otherwise make available content such as applications and associated content and assets. Any such materials a user submits, posts, displays, provides providers, or otherwise makes available on the service is referred to as user content. We claim no ownership rights over user content created by you. The user content to create remains yours. And if I go back to the terms of the conditions, and if I scroll a little bit to the top, I think I can probably find where this was. Yeah, I'm trying to find it. And it's actually over here. That is the third section of the service so condition where it says user content, and this is where it is. And then it says this clearly states that the FLFL does not claim ownership over any user content or application created by the user. You remain full ownership rights over any app and code you develop using FLFL. They provide the tools and services to build apps, but the rights and ownership of what you create belongs to you. And also, so in summary, you own the rights and IP to any app or code you create using Filterflow. Filterflow does not own or give or have rights to your app or code. This is what I actually this is what my research actually um, came up with. And let me know actually in the comments if you think if you wrote the terms and conditions, and if you think that this is what I think it is. So it's this if my answer is correct for you. And let me know if, like I said, let me know if you have any more questions about the terms and the conditions on Flow. And yeah, like I said, I hope you like this video. And in the future, I can actually make more videos about Flow, like the terms and the condition, the marketplace, the community, and so on and so forth. Yeah. So thank you. And before you go, I just want to let you know that I set up a Discord channel, which will be for my 3,000 subscribers. So thank you very much for everyone who subscribed to the channel. The Discord channel will be officially announced when I reach the 3,000 subscribers. Uh, it is well structured. It will be well structured with the general tab, which you can see the info, the news, and we will have also click to talk, so you can actually talk to other members of the channel. And we have the YouTube videos as well, where you can see all the YouTube videos. You can also have, if you want to, if you want to request a video, you can go to video requests, and then we have the paid members from YouTube, which they have a separate channel where they can talk. I also have from the mentoring sessions, we have the paid members. And then it's structured by backend for the Flow API calls Superbase SQLite. And then you have the design, where you can ask design questions. We have the custom code, which is code expressions, custom functions, custom widgets, custom actions. And for the Flow source code, we can talk about the Flow source code as well. And we have integrations as well, pub, def, packages, platforms, if you want to integrate different platforms. We have the general integrations. And then we have, you don't see it from my face, but we have also the settings. We have the dynamic links, we have the push notifications, we have the app settings, we have the Android deployment, we have the iOS deployment, and we have the web deployment. And the last thing that we have is actually we have the languages, and we have other languages. So we have like Swedish, for example, Spanish, Portuguese, other languages that people from those countries or those languages can talk in their own language. So yeah, like I said, thank you very much for all the subscribers. And before you go, I just want to say that the paid membership for YouTube is now open. So you can be a paid member to my YouTube channel, which means a lot. And thank you very much for all the people who are right now paid members to the channel.